Good afternoon, ladies and gents. I'm King George. I'm the owner of TY Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. Today we are here with this brother. The brother is on here for a second time. I mean, this brother is one of the creative international artists right now. Brother's from St. Croix. This brother moved over to the States, started dropping more music. And when I tell you, this brother actually puts together some great music. I'm talking about you want to really put him in the top tiers. To me personally, you put him in the tiers of like the Elephant Man, the Beanie Mans, and I know he's still climbing, but listen, in this interview we're going to get into all the great things that he's doing now and all the future things that he's doing. So listen, let's give it up for brother Cann Cann. Let's go. How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Here, King George.
That's what I'm talking about.
Finally got to meet you in person, or get to meet you in person, I should say. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, good, man. So the first time was epic.
Yes.
This time, man, we're gonna definitely get back into the music. We're gonna dive back into the music. We're gonna dive straight into the single that's out right now. God Got Me. How special is that single? And what do you love most about it?
Well, it's just plain and simple. For those who don't know, as I've stated, but for the first time on King George's platform, I let everybody know that the majority of this record, God Got Me, is everyday quotes and sayings that my grandmother would say in the household.
Yes.
The majority of it, and then hearing my mother throughout, when I moved to the States in my younger teens.
Yes.
Some of the quotes she would say as well, just all compiled in verse form. There's a lot more, but so much you could put in song format.
Yes.
For I guess for distribution purposes, radio play, things of that nature, airplay, things of that nature. So I just try to compile as much as I can, and just still hit home as much as I can. And since releasing it, it's done a lot. You know what I'm saying? It helped me to really see that, hey, you could really come from a different angle, because everybody that's familiar with Cann Cann and what he does is just nothing but energy, charisma, catering to the females as I do on my records, etc., performance-wise. So coming from a gospel end or side of the world, everybody's like, God got me, let me listen to this. Cann Cann, this is different.
Yes.
So everybody's like, wow. And the first person that I let really hear it, well, obviously besides the producer Rome the Don from Jamaica, super producer Rome the Don, big up yourself, you already know the vibe. Besides him and Cash Flow, who's responsible for mixing and mastering a lot of the top tier artists, much like exactly what you just said, with the Beanies and the Elephants and the Bougies, etc. of the world. Okay. Shout out to Cash Flow as well. Besides them, my mother, I played it for her, and we was in at the Hard Rock Hotel in Atlantic City. I want to say a week or a couple of weeks prior to it being released in April, and she just like a tear rolled down. She was like, "Play it again," and I played it again, and then she was like, "Mommy used to say these things," as in grandma, her mother, my grandmother, and I was like, "I'm happy you caught that." You know what I'm saying? So she was like, wow, this is touching. She was like, and this is gonna be a single? I says, yeah, I'm releasing it. It's set for release in a couple of weeks. I forgot exactly when it was from the time that I played it for her. And then, so she heard it first, and once my mother pleased, and she gave it 3 thumbs up. I know we only have 2 thumbs, but she gave me 3 thumbs up. I was like, it's good to go for the world now. So the world, is getting to digest it and absorb it, and it's doing good. It's doing really good. I literally have people telling me that, thank you so much. Yes. It's officially in my playlist, and they're pushing it, resharing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because if you're familiar with the dancehall world and how reggae works, is it's a non-stop competitive sport or arena, so to speak, where the minute the rhythm drop, all the artists, they're gonna jump to get on the rhythm. As you know, with the WYFL rhythm, if you're familiar with that, everybody, it's about damn near over 60, 70 songs on that one rhythm. Yeah. Then we have now the Hill and Gully rhythm, which is now blowing up the place by, for whatever that's worth. And then now, I didn't choose to get on none of those, because getting on it is getting on it just for the fun and the sport of it. But I aim more for the authorized aspect of getting on rhythms, because authorized meaning, just for educational purposes, is if you're a super producer from whatever walk of life you come from, and you're well renowned in the industry, etc., etc. And I say, yo, King George, I'm gonna send you my rendition of the production you did, and you say, you know what, yeah man, authorized. That's more weight, because it's coming straight from you, and you're feeding it to the world in your network when it's coming from you, versus me just saying, all right, I just want to jump on a rhythm just because. Yes. And then people like it. Of course, in my eyes, you see it more for your friends and family, but I'm not about that. I'm more about feeding the world my music. So for me, getting on these kind of rhythms where Back to God got me, when it came to me, shouts to Chex, my brother Chex, he's the reason that this whole thing happened. He has a record on it as well called Greatest Thing. I-Octane, legend in his own right, he was the first one to do a record on it called I'm Lying. The modified revamp version of the rhythm, because in reggae and dancehall they remake and modify the same rhythms ever so often, every 10 years, every decade, every 5 years. So Rome the Don says, you know what, I'm going to re-release this rhythm, and I-Octane is the first person he chose to do it in October, November or so, and he's very successful. So the minute I heard it, I was like, yo, this is different with the acoustics, the pianos, all that stuff. It's not your typical dancehall sound or typical reggae sound. So I says, you know what? And Chex was like, yo, I know the producer. I said, okay, cool. So I did my version to it. I sent it to Rome, and Rome was like, right away, this has to be released right away. So I was like, all right, so cool. So for me, this record has opened up a lot of doors. It enabled me to now get, you know, a lot more placements on compilations or jugglings. In the reggae dancehall, we call it jugglings, where it's a bunch of different artists, the same rhythm. If you're familiar with the dancehall reggae world, that's how it works. Okay. And then, so yeah, that's what's been happening for me now. The email is getting filled up. My phones can't stop ringing now since the top of 2026. Okay. Yeah, definitely. So, shout out to all the producers and support so far. Yes. Everything I got going on. Yeah, definitely.
That's heavy, brother. That's heavy. That's heavy. Now I want to ask, how many different forms of reggae is it? Because I know they have. I done seen the Jamaican do reggae. Mm-hmm. You done seen a lot of Caribbeans people do reggae, and then you've seen the Spanish do reggae.
Yes.
Reggae. So how many different forms of reggae is it?
My answer is just my perception. So please don't take it as my word is gold or whatever. But the different forms of reggae come from one form, which is reggae itself, which is the pattern, the drums. It's definitely from the motherland. There's no debating that. There's no questioning that. You'll get in conversations and debates about, it came from here, came from there. No one ever said it didn't come from Jamaica. Jamaica is who created reggae. That's where reggae itself, the genre, started and was birthed. Yes. But the sounds that make up certain patterns that allows the genre to be created, for me, in my perception, once again, is definitely from the motherland. It's definitely from the motherland. And of course, you mentioned, you just saw a reference to Spanish. It's in the word itself, reggaeton. Reggae. Ton. It's pretty much what it is. It's a Spanish Latin rendition to reggae itself. Then off of reggaeton came dembow, where it's a little more up-tempo, fast-paced, but it's the same pattern, the same exact pattern as a dancehall record would be. Yes. So, and then you have what has in the most recent years, 2013, 14, 15 to present, yes, the Afro dancehall. Okay. The likes of the Stone Boys and the Shatta Wales and the Burner Boys, whenever he's ready to tap into, he's more Afro beats, but there's times when he taps into Afro dancehall, yes, where it's literally dancehall rhythms, dancehall patterns, just from the Ghanaian and or Senegalese and or Nigerian side of the world. Okay. It's pretty much what it is. But for a genre like this to be accepted worldwide and emulated worldwide because there's Asian bands, there's Jewish bands, there's Polish bands. When I say bands, that's what reggae is: live music, bands, patterns. Shout out to Salute Bob Marley. You know, I carry Bob Marley with me everywhere I go, here and here, because if you're really into this music, you will have to listen to exactly what he was doing at that time. I wasn't alive, of course, but you know, when you make timeless music and it lives on forever, the minute you're birthed and you start listening to what he had going on, I want to say has going on because he hasn't died. He's not here in the physical, but he's here in spirit. And for some weird reason, I don't know if people's paying attention, when it comes to the Grammy Awards, he's hard to beat.
Sure. A
guy that's been deceased for so much years, 3 decades, 4 decades going on now, he's hard to beat. He's always winning the Grammys. He always has the #1 album, singles on iTunes reggae charts. How can that be? Because that's how much his music and the genre itself spoke to the world. Not for friends and family. Going back to what I was just saying, you understand what I'm saying? So that's what I aim for, just the world music. And you know, God Got Me is definitely one of those timeless sounds, timeless records. And once again, salute Rome the Don. Salute Rome the Don.
Absolutely. And now specifically, when you say God got me, what does that mean to you?
God Got Me is simple. Like, whatever you're going through in your personal life, whether if it's good, you definitely know nothing just comes by chance. It's all through His blessings and His grace. If you're a believer, let me not put the cart before the horse. If you're a believer, I can't speak for everybody, but once you have that faith, you walk in faith, and you're a believer, and you have strong faith and strength in your belief. Then definitely God is the reason. He's responsible why you are at your success high, why you know so successful and you still have more to go, but why everything is going good for you. And then when you're down, you have to rely on prayer, rely on, you know, the fact that He will help you pull through. So no matter what, God got you. There was times, and there's still times, nobody's perfect, nobody's without flaw. That's one thing. Nobody's without flaw. So stop it, please. There's times when I'm going through my thing, I just gotta send my praises up and just, you know, hope for the best. He may not answer right away, but He definitely answers, and most times it's in mysterious ways. So definitely, that's what it means to me. God got me, as God should have you once you're a believer.
That's heavy. That's heavy. Now, I don't want to mess this up, but didn't you start out as a hip hop artist first?
Oh yeah, baby. No, you didn't mess it up. Let's do it.
Okay.
So, in St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands, it's an island. All you hear, at least in my time, because it's completely different now. We'll get to that if we got time. Once growing up on an island, all you heard was, in our culture, was the Quelbe, the soca, the calypso. Calypso is a modern day slowed down version of the motherland's rhythms. Storytelling, that's what calypso is. Storytelling. Soca now is more up-tempo, jump up party wave, but sometimes it has context, sometimes it's just a bunch of blah blah coming out. It is what it is. People love what they love, to each his own, right? But that calypso, then my grandfather used to play a lot of Kenny Rogers and country music, you know, all this kind of music, right? Lucky Dube, that's reggae. That comes with being on the island, definitely. But then going to high school, I was just intrigued by rap and poetry. Going to junior high school, so me and my guys, we were all like-minded. My friends at the time, salute Wise to Don and Bugsy, and Hal and Mary. All my boys growing up, they know who they are. So we would get together in the hills in the island, and we would just listen to Wu-Tang all day. Wu-Tang Clan all day. So we was like, yo, we need to be like them. They have a clique of 12, 15 dudes. You know what? It's about 8, 9 of us. We're gonna call ourselves Malicious Mob. So now we took the W for Wu-Tang and we turned it upside down. Made it Malicious Mob with double M. So we would roll around and we would just, you know, we would go get the lugs, because it was lugs back then, and we would sag on pants, like, you know, like we were on the island, but we got the, you know, the do-rag, the hats, the bandanas, all that good stuff, and we was rapping. Everybody was like, yo, y'all, we on the island, nobody wanna hear that, get out of here. You don't wanna hear no rap. No, but we like, well, we are rappers. We rappers. We got booed off the stage one time because we performed. We performed at a, I never really tell the story, but it's cool. We performed at a high school show, incognito. We had our hats mad low, big sunglasses. Nobody really knew who we was.
Yeah.
So just thinking back, the boos to now what I get is cheers and applause and yo, you dope, bro. It's just a whole transition, but I'm happy you brought that up. So from there now, moving up to the States, my auntie, she was a big hip hop head. Shout out to Auntie D. She used to write rhymes herself. She called herself Tragedy back in the day, and she wrote rhymes. So when you know, not moved up, but coming back and forth, because we used to come, me and my sister and my uncle used to come back and forth to the States every summer till, you know, my mother decided to say, you know what, okay, let's give your grandmother a break now. I'll take you guys from here, because the hurricane really tore up the island in '89 or something like that, and you know, it was really bad. So we just came up here after a while, but we was back and forth. Every summer would come up, I would just put my aunt's tapes in the deck, because back, you know, cassette tapes. There was no CDs, no streaming and none of that. It was tapes, like physical cassette tapes. We had to take the pencil and rewind it. Anyway, whoo, I'm showing my age. Anyway, what you call it? So it went from that to me listening to the tapes, and then I was introduced to the Nas's and the Tupacs and all of these things. And then when Biggie came out, I was forget about it. Like, it was, yeah, I'm a rapper. I don't care if I'm a rapper. I'm that's it. Method Man was my guy. Red Man was my guy. You could tell me no different about rap.
Yeah.
Cool. Come up to the States now to live. Started hanging with more Caribbean people now. So I'm like, you know what? Growing up in the island, listening to all the reggae and dancehall that I did, it's in me. And I have a thing where I can emulate whatever I hear. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna join the two genres that I love so much. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just go monitor these showcases and concerts and open mics to see what they do. So I joined the two. The only people at that time that was truly doing it was Busta Rhymes. KRS One in his era, in his time, he may have done it, dibbled and dabbled. But on the underground scene, everybody was either a rapper or a singer. I was a rapper and dancehall dude, rapping reggae dude, rapping sing J dude. That's what I used to do, and that's how I won competitions. So that's the rap side of me that I could still get it in. I mean, please don't ask me to freestyle, because I would be stumbling, fumbling all over the place right now. But I could still get it in if I'm challenged to. I'll definitely do it. But there was a point now where after just figuring and really feeling like the industry is just so oversaturated with the same context, and it's like, you know what? Let me go back to my Caribbean root side. And I says, you know what? At that time, Afrobeat was really starting to like come out. I said, you know what? Told my team, Black Diamond Mafia, Hoffa, J Hall, you know, let me try a solo run. Let me go and do. Shouts to Lane too as well, because we had a crazy run. We had a crazy run. Nobody was beating us in no competition. They used to hate us when we walked through any venue. Me and Real Right Rel, Greg B. the Voice, Songless Rest in Peace, like Cash Ruger, we just used to go through and just tear it down. But now I said, let me try something. So I went the Afrobeat route, and I did a song called Queen. Very successful. Very, 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 very successful. It really did well in Ghana. On that side of the field, and that's where the term international recording artist was birthed. Because from that Queen record, it opened up that channel to me, that demographic to me, and I was able to get my butt on a plane, and I flew to Ghana, and I started planting my seeds.
That's heavy.
And that's how Cann Cann is known in Ghana, in the Tokyos, in the Germanys, and the Londons, through one record.
That's heavy.
So
that's heavy. We gotta give it up.
Yeah, definitely.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Trying, man. Just putting the work in. Yeah, definitely.
Yo, that is heavy. Listen, that is heavy. The next question I gotta ask. Who are some of your favorite reggae bands?
Reggae bands. Whew. It's definitely a toss-up, because I don't like to put no two over each other. But first and foremost, there's a band called Midnight, and they're actually from the St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they made it to some kind of, they are up there. I correct myself. I stand corrected. I'm sorry, my fellow Cruisers. I apologize. But Midnight is definitely first and foremost, and I'm being biased because they're from St. Croix, and the kind of love and respect and outpour that and turnout that they get. I witnessed it myself. Like, you know, my manager, Coffee Bannerman, he's very close with Vaughn Benjamin, who was the leader. Keyword was, because he did pass away in the recent years. Vaughn Benjamin was the lead singer of the Midnight Band. Okay. And Akabeka was his name, and he was very close to my manager, Coffee Bannerman. And Coffee said, yo, what are you doing today? I says, nothing. He says, okay, I need you to come to B.B. King's. You ever heard of me? I said, absolutely, they're from where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're gonna be here. I says, get out of here. Like, yeah. So I went to B.B. King. I met them in person. You know, we was helping them, you know, move the instruments, all that stuff around, because the keyword here is band, right? Notice I didn't say turntables, I said the instruments. Yes. It's real. So we get to the bottom of B.B. King, we're talking to Vaughn. I'm like, damn, I'm really in the presence of Vaughn Benjamin. This is dope. No problem. So they performing, and all you can see is a sea. Then I says, you know what? Let me see how real Midnight is. Wow. I went out through if you're familiar with how B.B. King's is set up in New York, there's other ways to get in and out versus the main exit. So I went up through the back and then came out. The line was around the corner, still people trying to get in. That's heavy. Because they were at capacity at that point. That's heavy. Standing capacity. So that's just there. Imagine the rest of the world. So that band first and foremost, and it's a toss-up between Steel Pulse and Third World. A big toss-up between those two reggae bands, definitely. And then of course you have, you know, your bands that play, that back people, and back, you know, the Boujous and all these people. A lot of bands, but like bands, like full-on bands with lead singers and notoriety, notable songs, etc. Yeah. Definitely Midnight, and then Third World and Steel Pulse is a toss-up of those. Wow. Midnight, Third World, Steel Pulse. Steel Pulse. Yeah. Wow. That's heavy. I gotta check them out. Yeah, definitely. Gotta check them out. Dope music, man. Dope. That's heavy. That's heavy. All about the message. Reggae is spreading the message. That's what reggae is about, spreading the message. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite instrument? Oh, it's funny you ask. In the islands, in junior high, I played the they call it the baritone. Okay. I call it the baby tuba. Okay. It's between I'm a brass guy, 3-valve brass. You sight it on your lap, and I was like, I'm short, yes, everybody knows that, but I was shorter. Yes. So the tuba would always cover me. The baby tuba would always cover me while I'm playing. So people are like, who's this little dude playing this big old instrument? You know, because I had a set of lungs. You'll hear it, and then if it's not that, I'll play the trumpet as well. So yeah, it's either the trumpet or the baritone / baby tuba. That's heavy. Yeah, that's heavy. It was heavy. Wow. That's a heavy instrument. Yeah, definitely. What do you love most about yourself? In this current time. In this current time, my ability to just give back and just, you know, always wanted to help. Always wanted to help. Like I'm behind the scenes right now so much, and you know, I don't ever go on record, because for me, going on record saying what you do and all of this and all of that, for me, I'm talking about behind the scenes versus, you know, the obvious. We're here to interview me about, you know, what I have going on, so I have to put that out there. But behind the scenes things, people will literally forget, not on an interview tip, get in front of the phone, yo, I wrote this song for such and such, I'm the man that did this, I did that. Let the people put that out about you. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You know what you did, just stay quiet about it, humble yourself a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's me. I like that the most about myself, that I'm able to just come through. Yes. Always be willing to help people finish a song. I have people that come through all the time, because I have a home studio. They come through and be like, yo, Cann Cann, I'm kind of stuck here. Yo, Cann Cann, you want to help me with this? Yo, Cann Cann, I think you're the only person that'll be able to pull this kind of record out. Pull up. Yes. I ain't gonna say no names, but I be telling them to pull up. And they pull up, and we help them, and they're pleased with the records and how they come out, and then they go about their life. Yes. And they do what they do. I've helped a lot of there's 2 people right now that's really buzzing in the New York scene that I've literally helped groomed them, stage ethics, everything, as I was groomed by my mentor. So I just helped, man. You know, I just reciprocate what was, you know, poured onto me. That's it.
That's heavy. And honestly, who are some of the mentors that mentored you in the reggae scene?
I would not in the I'm gonna just say in the I could say both. Can I say both? I'm gonna just say industry. I'm gonna just keep it in industry.
Just musically?
Musically.
Yeah, okay.
Master J. Hamilton, may he rest in peace, definitely. He was mentored by Quincy Jones himself. I was had the privilege to take part in this very grueling boot camp called Hip Hop 16 Bars. Okay. So that was part of when I was still rapping, but then he heard me do the reggae thing, and so he was like, no, I need that more. So okay, cool. So that's when I used to really in and out, dance in and out, because he was the one really behind me, like do this, do that, as a mentor should, right? So it's him, and then I did that boot camp. I won season 2. Shouts to the Da Vinci Code. He's a fellow Jamaican artist himself. It's just something about the Caribbeans, I guess. You know, I don't know what it is, and we do what we do, and people receive us well. And I won season 2, he won season 1, and through the weddings, I was honored. I got to meet Quincy Jones myself. I got to meet and Bert Padell. So the little bit of time I spent with Quincy and Bert, those are gems I will never repeat. I will take it to my grave, and every time I'm getting into a situation, I always reflect back on those gems and I apply them.
Yes.
Definitely apply them. So absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. 1 second.
Rough. Who made How Did That Go come about? Shout outs to Baba Roots Productions. Those are the Germany. I mentioned Germany earlier. Those producers are from Germany. Yes. Mikey Lust from Jamaica. He sent his rendition on that rhythm to DJ Cutie Q's, who I do a radio show with every Saturday in New York. I heard the rhythm and I was like, yo, this is fire. She was like, you like it? I said, yeah, I like it. Of course I do. You crazy, auntie? Because I call her Auntie Cutie. She said, all right, may I work on something for you? I said, all right, no problem. So boom. So then she put on the Lady G version. If you're not familiar with Lady G is, she's a legendary female dancehall artist. So that's my auntie too, Auntie Lady G. I got to do some work with her too. If you get time. Anyway, so I heard Lady G's rendition on it. I was like, nah, Cutie, definitely. I need this rhythm. So we called Mikey Lust. He said, well, I don't know if you have any more room, because sometimes, like I just said a while ago, if it's not authorized, yes, I'm not doing it. So the code of the source is to get to the producer who authorizes it, who gives you the 10 thumbs up to then push it out under his umbrella. That's how it's supposed to work. So Mikey Lust said, all right, well, make Cann Cann go on, because he wasn't familiar with what I could do at the time. Make him go on and send it back, let's see. Recorded it, mixed it, mastered it the same day, sent it back to Cutie, because the more I heard it, the more I came up with stuff in my head. Yes. Sent it back to Cutie, who then sent it to Mikey Lust, who then sent it to the producer in Germany. Yeah. He said, yo, nah, get me on the phone with the kid. So we spoke a little bit, okay, and then from there, he's like, yeah, we're gonna release it. The album was released 3 months before the initial juggling was released 3 to 4 months before I first heard the rhythm. But he just put me on it now because he loved my version to it. Yes. So that's how Bedroom Roof came about, which I shot the video in Ghana, once again, because I already started planting my seeds. And because he's from Germany, that opened up that demographic as well, even wider, yes, versus what Queen had did for me initially. So that's how Bedroom Roof came about, and people are still requesting it. Shout outs to DJ Bobby Conda's Massive B Sounds. Drop a big up yourself too. 2 years later, we did a show called Friends of God. Me and my promoter partner, Nana NYC. Big up yourself, Nana NYC. And we got DJ Drewski involved, Hot Nights was involved, along with Bobby Condas, and we just did a post, right? And Bobby was like, "Oh, send me this record. Yeah. This is fire," because he never heard of it, which is cool. Absolutely. So once again, what's old to us as artists or creatives is new to somebody else if they're not familiar. So now I went on his radar, so sent it to him for a whole month straight. This guy played my song, Bedroom Rough on Hot 97. Yeah, I got a lot of power on the 5 Love. Shout outs to DJ Nori. He was the first one to really bust it out in the New York tri-state area scene, because he, that's DJ Nori, that's the homie, that's home base. So he played that, did his thing. But then it was just, a real nail in the coffin for me, like a real, okay, yeah. Bobby Connor's, legendary Bobby Connor's, who's been in this industry from the freaking late 80s, early 90s, just doing his thing.
Absolutely.
He played the song, and I really appreciated it. Amongst a lot of other hot artists, he played the song, and I really appreciated it. And that really, if anything, motivates me more to just keep going and keep going and keep going. So definitely, Bedroom Rough is definitely still one of my babies. I perform it every chance I get. Yeah, every chance I get.
Yeah, monumental, you might say.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shouts to Black 31. I got it right up in the magazine.
Absolutely.
Let me show up a little bit. I see that right there. Yeah. Cue the question. Big up yourself. Cue the question. You don't know.
Let's go.
My guy. Yeah.
Wow, man. I noticed you mentioned Ghana.
Yes.
You mentioned Ghana a lot.
Yes.
What important role has Ghana played in your music career?
The fact that I spoke on a panel the other day for my young guy Scott Morris, and I explained to a lot of the young up and comers how important it is to come off your porch. Get off your porch, because your porch is your comfort zone. You open your front door, you just sit on your porch and enjoy the breeze. No. Go 3 blocks down and get that experience. So for me, being able to branch into Ghana through the record Queen, my first Afrobeat record, it played a very important, and it still played a very important role, because now every release I get, it automatically pops up in these DJs' feeds, everything, and they play it automatically just because it's Cann Cann.
Yes.
So because the seeds are planted already, I don't really have to now go make the phone calls, you'll get in touch with such and such and such. I mean, I have more groundwork to do in Ghana, but right now, it's automatic. It's just automatic. And they always tell me, the minute something comes out, you either send it to me or we'll see it and we'll play it. And the analytics shows. It shows that from this station or that station or this corner in Ghana or that corner in Croix, it shows it to you. So it speaks for itself, you know what I'm saying? And now Gambia, most recently, they're starting to really pay attention to what Cann Cann got going on to it. And they actually reached out to one of my shout outs to 100 Grand Productions and Markland Music, to 100 Grand Productions. I have a song on one of his rubber dub rhythms called Life that they want me to go out there and perform it pretty soon too. So we're looking at Gambia pretty soon too. Definitely we're going to Ghana in August, and Gambia is, I think, shortly after Ghana.
That's major.
Yeah.
That's major, man. That's major. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hey, that's some love. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to dive back into the single.
Thanks, Q.
Just before we wrap up, right? Elaborate on Lady G, how you connected with Lady G.
Lady G is directly through Auntie Cutie Cute. Definitely through Auntie Cutie Cute, and then more directly through checks, because now the Lady G thing came about because I was honored to be on another legendary juggling called the Jam Again rhythm, which was formerly Jam Down rhythm. Like I said, they modify it every 5 to 10 years and re-release it with new artists, new sounds, new faces, etc. I was one of them on the 21 album project, juggling I Octane, Tanya Stevens, Pampate, Yaksta, myself, Checks, legendary Gary Minot, he's on there. Lady G, she's on there. So through that now, I was privileged to do background vocals on her song. I was privileged to mix a Lady G and master. I mixed and mastered 8 of the 21 songs on that juggling. And it's received. That juggling is what opened up Cann Cann to Japan because of that song. And that's me just getting authorized once again by legendary Della Danger in a Danger Zone music group. Esco the Shaka, big up yourself. He's on there too. He's from a very well-known group called Lefty and Esco. If you're familiar, from your belly no bang, and your nose say you look good, your tongue. He was Esco of Lefty and Esco. So he's part of that whole movement too as well. And yeah, they gave me the honor to help them with the release of it, and also I have a song on there called Sweat that's doing very well right now, very well. So everything for me right now is timing and just staying consistent for me right now, definitely. So, and then I did another set of backgrounds for Lady G2 as well for another song called Lifestyle on another rhythm for her, spot check rhythm for another juggling that we're all on too as well. So it's just a bunch of that comes right back to the same place, full circle, pretty much. So, Auntie Lady G, pick up yourself once again. Yeah, that's for me. That's for me.
Absolutely. Let the people know where they can find you, brother.
Where can they find me? Cantastic One, CANNTASTIKONE.com. That's the easiest way that connects you to everything else. I don't know how else to. My website, CANNTASTIKONE.com.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go. Listen, we just finished up a good one with brother Cann Cann.
Yes.
Make sure y'all tap into his new single, God Got Me. Listen, this is the platform of truth, the home of the champions, and this is the place where we uplift man, woman, and child. Peace and love, y'all. One.
Tell them, I am forever blessed. True Father God got me, yeah. Peace out. Love is love.
Song, the whole world gon' know me. Cause after this song, the whole world sing the poetry.